back on. Give me 1 second. Let me get them back on.
Sure.
That my jump, boy. I'm the world's greatest. I'm that little bit of hope when my back's against the rope, where I can just
Mm,
walk on. Don't care for what he did, but I love his music, and I don't even know what he did. Accordingly, we will say,
come on, R. Kelly.
right? I will say so until proven guilty. I love that man. Oh, I had to do that one.
Why do you love him because of his music?
Oh yes, oh yes. Now I will say I don't know what went on in his transactions, and that's neither here nor there for me. But I love his. I appreciate his music. Might not, nothing else, but I appreciate his music.
Right,
What's
right.
up, Sean Gibbons? I mean, I still appreciate Michael's music. I still appreciate Whitney's music. I just appreciate I appreciate the gift. It's not so much the individual. I
Right,
appreciate the gift. You know what I'm saying?
right.
I appreciate the gift.
Well, music has a very hypnotic
Um, Disposition.
connotation to it.
I see Sean Gibbons, Apollonia going hard, Randy Walker. How you doing, Sean? I'm great. I give it 100. That's what I give it. Cause 99 and a half won't do. 99 and a half won't do. So I give it 100. Okay, let me get your live started, Ricky, and then I can go from there, and I'll get ready to introduce you. Give me 1 second.
Okay, that'll be fine.
I gotta unlock your live. This doggone thing. I know this thing ain't dead. This thing dead. Boy, it's always something. How you doing, Apollonia? Boy, that doggone, yeah, I made it. I'm that little bit of hope. Yes, I am. Boy, my back's against the road. Okay, 1 second. Let me unlock Ricky's show, and then I'm ready. Okay, you guys. So I have Ricky Smith on the other side with me. I grew up with Ricky, and we've always been very close friends with my brother. He's very sweet to my mother, and we all love him dearly. And I thought, what better than to get him to come on and give us the whole rendition of what I see him doing sometime in his car. Let me get that little Shirley curl. So I love it to look really good. But I just feel that I wanted him to embody some of the things that we discussed. I kind of gave him an open platform. And Ricky, what will happen when you say some things? If you see me say, give me a second, let me answer whatever they saying or what they want to interject, and then I'll come right back to you. So I see you, Benita. I see you, Stephen Williams, everybody. We're going to go and get started. So Ricky, I want you to tell me a little bit about yourself, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. All right. Well, hello everyone. How y'all doing? I hope everybody's well, and I hope things are going well in your life, even in the midst of the pandemic that we're dealing with, and all the other social issues that we're dealing with. There's a lot of things that we could talk about tonight, and a lot of things that can be discussed tonight. But what I'm going to touch bases on right tonight briefly is pretty much the root cause of all suffering.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna start out by saying that the root cause of that all suffering is because of being upset, being made upset,
Mhm.
getting upset, choosing to be upset, living upset. Um, for my short tenure of life, I have learned and found out that that is a premise for all other things that happen in our lives that are not so good.
Right,
You know, no one has a perfect life,
right.
but there's a way to deal with life perfectly.
Mhm.
If I could say that for lack of a better word.
Mhm.
Um, I'm a native of Rennes, Georgia, born and raised. Um, Mother, father, siblings. Um, Played sports in high school. Around a CB student with no effort, just
Mm-hmm.
doing enough to just get by in the schoolwork. Um, Graduated in '93, joined the United States Marine Corps, served in the Corps for 6 years. Um, Enjoyed that. I had an opportunity to travel the world, to live in different countries, and to see a lot of different things that help mold and make who I am today as a person.
Right.
And I describe myself as this type of person. I'm not a person about doing, because everybody does. I'm more or less of the type of person that's about being. And being is a state or position that you can put yourself in, where you can be that at all times, because
Right.
that's who you are.
Right.
Because you all know, we are not what we do, we are who we are. So tonight I want to talk about what makes people tick, what can move a person.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said earlier, if a person can get you upset, and it's really not the person that's doing the getting upset, that's in relationships, because it's all about relationships. You're going to have relationships irregardless of where you go. You got relationship
Right.
with your kids, your parents, your siblings, your husbands, your wives,
Mm-hmm.
school teachers. You're going to have some type of relationship,
Right.
and we want to try to keep those relationships as healthy as possible.
We do.
And you can do that by not getting upset.
Now that's easier
So with
said
that
than
being
done, though.
said,
How do you do that if you're saying that people can't get upset? That's easier said than done because things do upset you. So what is the method?
right, yes. Well, the methodology to it, because, and I don't want to go off key, and I do want to talk about some other things. There's two types of life that we have. We have a life that's called Zoe, which is your spiritual life, and then we have the life that's called Suche, which is considered animal life.
Hmm.
So you can pretty much tell where you're at, which life you're connected to in your state of being, and how you're feeling at the time. Some people like to say, "Oh, I feel so good. It's something spiritual. You know what I mean?" And you pretty much probably tapping into that Zoe life. But if you're tapping into that Suche, which is animal life, quote unquote / ego, you know, we're gonna use an example. The husband and wife, you can be, because we are going to talk about relationships as well. Um, and we I find sometimes, recently I find myself, my friend can say something that I don't necessarily agree with, and a brief moment before I respond, there's something that kind of sticks you, and it wants you to respond negatively.
Right.
That's something trying to tap into your suit life, your ego life.
Hmm.
And what needs to take place is that you're gonna wanna tap into your Zoe life. And that Zoe life gives you that brief second or two where you can respond properly. You ever heard the people tell you that say 99% of life is not what happens to you, but how you respond?
I've heard that.
You ever heard that before?
I have.
That is so very true.
Well, you got to help me
That
because
is so
you bring
very true.
into a realm that a lot of them might not know what you're talking about, Zoe and whoever else you mentioned, but they wouldn't know that you got to tell them where that information comes from so that if they choose to look into it, they'll know.
Take a global look at what's going on, like in our society as a
Mhm.
whole. And
Right.
then you can look at different scenarios and see how people are responding, because people are angry.
They are.
And you know, and they have a right to be angry.
Mhm.
But there is a way to have an anger to where that anger you're channeling it in a positive vein.
Mhm.
Because if you respond negatively, it's gonna get you. It's gonna get you. Now, and this is what I do. I talk on my thing, and I tell people what's in the evil's in the world. We know that, right?
Right.
Evil is in the world. All right. Energy is not lost nor destroyed.
Right.
It's merely transferred.
Right.
So if evil's in the world,
Mhm.
how does it get into the people? It gets into the people by way of getting them upset or getting us upset. Anytime we get upset, something happens.
Mhm.
Something happens with your mind state. Something happens with your thinking. You want to go in this arena that really takes you off key, and you find yourself thinking about things that you wouldn't normally think about.
Right.
Are you following me?
I am. I'm just trying to understand in terms of when you say Zoe, and what is that? A religion or some type
No,
of belief?
no. It's not a religion.
Well,
I
what
don't
is
do.
it? Some
I
type of
don't.
belief?
Well, no, it's not a belief. It's just what you are. You are human, but you're three parts. You got a mind, a soul, and you have a spirit.
Right. But I'm trying to understand where does that come from? If I
That
wanted to find the knowledge on what you're talking about, where would I get that information from?
it's written right there in the Bible. It's in the Word. It's in
Those
His
things that
Word.
you just used?
Yeah, everything that I just touched on is right there in the Bible. He tells you in this one particular. I don't like to get all religiously
Right. So if
because
that's
I
no, I can say we can switch it if it's religion related. That's no
well
problem. We can switch.
well well I don't like because I don't like to get all religious and preachy and all that
Right.
stuff
I'm
because
not trying
that's
to
what it.
do that. So that's
Yeah,
why I'm trying to understand.
that's not what it's about. It's a tangible thing.
Okay.
It's something where you take what He's giving you
Mhm.
and you bring it into your life.
Okay. So
So it
I
you
get it.
know what I mean.
Yeah, I get it.
So with that being said,
Mhm.
you with one part mental,
Mhm.
physical,
Right.
and like I said, you have a mind,
Mhm.
you have a soul,
Mhm.
and you have a spirit. You could go around, you could say, for instance, I'm gonna give you an example. You can just go somewhere and be around a person, and you can say, oh, something ain't right.
Right.
You ain't touched the person, you and the person's mind ain't touched.
Right.
So what do you think touched you? What do you think was in that particular atmosphere at that particular time?
Well, see, that's what I was saying. So for me, I would have to say at that point is I'm religion if we're talking there. So I don't want to go there because I wouldn't want to interact in terms of that. But I do believe that that's energy that's being transferred,
What,
and how it's transferred is not. But they got a question. So Vissa Miller wanted to say, ask him to spell
sure.
those two words. He would like you to spell those two words, the Zoe and the other one. So can you spell those for me?
Zoe is spelled Zoe,
Zoe is Zoe.
and the sushi is and the sushi is spelled Psyche.
I'm sorry,
Zoe and sushi.
something went on with your phone. When you're moving around, your phone messing up.
Well, I'm not right back. Just put it on the charge for good. Is that better?
Yeah. What was the last one? Spell the
Is
last.
that better?
It is. Spell the last one.
Sushi. Psy
P S
Psyche.
C H E. Okay. So with that, we can move to the next form.
Correct.
It is religion related. You can take me to the next form. Hey, Dallas, thanks for the info. Please spell them again. Okay. So the first one is spelled Zoe, which is Zoe, and then the second one is spelled so Soche, which is Psyche. For anybody who needed those. Again, Psyche, and then Zoe. So I do, and he said what?
And that would be in the Greek.
Okay. Again, so you guys watch your comments when you come on. We all understand we might have different opinions or anything like that, but please watch your comments and watch your language, okay? Hey, Miss Linda Martin, how are you? All right, baby. You can go ahead to, if it's religion based, we won't go there. We'll go to the next aspect or whatever it is, okay? They wanted to look that up, but go ahead.
About
So in my mind,
the getting upset. About the getting upset. That has nothing.
I couldn't hear you. Something going on.
About the getting upset.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's to be truthfully speaking, it's kind of. Can you hear me good?
You might have to call my cell phone because your phone is not coming through clear at all. Call my, because it's not coming, it's muffled.
That's Suche.
Okay. It's muffled really bad.
Yeah.
So let me try to call you on the phone and then I'll use that. Let me try to call you on the phone, okay? Hang that up and I'm gonna call you on your messenger, okay?
Okay. So when,
I'm gonna call you.
okay.
All right. Give me 1 second. Let me get him hung up and call him back on my other device. So give me 1 second. You have to hang that line up so I can call you. You heard me?
Yes, I heard you.
Gotta hang that up so I can call you. Okay, you guys, give me 1 second while I try to get him on this particular line. Let me see. You say Zoe, and is that Ricky talking? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's Ricky. I'm gonna try to get him back on my thing because he's traveling, and so his connection is not the best while he's traveling. If he's speaking from the Bible, I would truly love to hear him clarify. Well, and that's what I'm going to speak with him when he comes back. I allow people to come on and say what they need to say until I understand where it's going. So if it's religion based, I won't be going there. So I have to wait till I get him on the phone to be clear. But if it's religion based, I don't do that. So he's going to have to go to another open area. I think religion should be handled different. So I don't really do it on the show like that. I don't mind you saying we thank God for this and we praise him for that and we do this and that. I don't mind that. But when it gets into the true aspect of religion, I feel that you truly need to be anointed to start telling things. That's what I feel, but that's my belief. I want to hear it from the anointed, the greasy forehead, like that, really greasy, right there. A lot of grease dropping down in my makeup type of thing. That's what I want to hear it from. So give me 1 second. Let me see, can I get him on my phone? But I'll know in a minute. I don't know just yet till I get it back on the line. So let me see. See if I can get him on here. All my devices, I got so much things going on. So I can just walk on. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get him on my phone since his whatchamacallit not working good. He might have to go. Let me see if it's even clear for him. 1 second. Ricky. Okay, let me see if I can get the volume up. Hold on, let me see if I can hear you. Give me 1 second. I don't know. I don't know if you will have to do it like this. You're gonna have to do it like this. Can you talk and let me see how loud you are? I can, but can you talk and so I can see how loud you are? Say that again now? Okay, I think they can hear you. So basically, if it's religion based, I want to go out of the religion and go into another aspect of where you go. Because when I do religion, I truly like to do it if it's somebody that's anointed or we coming from some real spiritual side where people can get into that mindset for scripture and stuff. I try not to just do it commonly because my grandma wouldn't allow me to do that. So I want to just go past that part, and then we'll go back to people just knowing not to get upset when things go wrong, and then where we would be in terms of we can go into relationships and stuff like that, just not on a religious standpoint. Okay. So did you want to start from we got the part about not getting upset, and we were trying to see where we wanted to go in terms of where you want to take us after that.
Well, I'm not on the relationship side of things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an expert on that.
Okay.
But I just, it's when it comes to, male and female, or you're either going to be male and female, or you're going to be a man or a woman.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't take you there. Like I tell people, all.
Well, let's do this. Let me say this. Just see, and that would come because what the premise of what I'm saying is hard to separate because you can't, because it covers the whole diaspora of one's life. Say, for instance, like I just mentioned to you, Suche and Zoe, the two sides of the life. One life in the Suche, you're just going to be male and female. But in the Zoe, you're going to be a man or a woman.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to have to do. I'm not going to be able to really understand where you're going with it until I understand. If we got to talk about a common area, we won't be able to do Zoche and Shushe because I don't know nothing about that. I don't like to get into stuff if I ain't never even heard of it. In terms of anything else, I have to wait on that. So if you don't feel that you could speak on those levels, then is there another area that we can go in that's not in the spiritual realm or an intellectual realm that would carry us to something spiritual? Is there a topic that is just generalized?
We can. All right. I was going to speak about police brutality in our young African American men.
Okay, so you can try to carry me there.
And what we need to do to curtail things in our community to keep us from being victimized on a regular basis. So we can talk about that.
So let's go there.
There is a dire need in the community for that. And now, with all this uproar going on, our women are being threatened. Because if they can't get to us, they come after you all. So what are we to do in regards to having a collective mindset to how to say, not on an individual basis, say, well, I'm going to protect my family. So what about the neighbors' children, daughters, siblings? How do we look at that as a whole? And what can we do? And how do we reach this youth we go into parenting. There's a whole gamut of subjects that could be touched on, but when it's touched on, it has to get everything has a root cause. Everything.
Who is Kelvin Stanley Jr.? Who is Kelvin Stanley Jr.? I don't know who you are. And one thing you will not do is tell me what I should do or what I should not do. If I'm having something on my show that you don't care about or you don't like the direction of it, you should just get off the live. Whatever I choose to put on, whether we find it interesting or not, that's what I'm going to do. I will let everybody have a voice no matter what it sounds like until I understand it, because we all have that right. And I tried a few minutes ago to tell you to kind of critique your language and what you're saying because you addressed it openly. But now you're asking me when you call my name. So you can either decide to stay on or get off, or I'll block you. It's whatever, because whatever I choose to put on, I'm going to put on. I don't have to do anything but stay black and die. So let me figure out what he wants to say, because I want to hear it. And that's the last time I'm going to say that. So go ahead, Ricky. No problem. It's just the way you're making the suggestion. Everybody reads what's on the screen. So that's why I say, be mindful of your comment. Go ahead, Ricky.
Oh, yeah. And I was touching bases in regards to not so much our behavior as people, but we behave just
Right.
like everybody else behaves.
Right.
But we just looked upon
Different.
it's differently.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know whether it's intimidation
Mm-hmm.
or whether it's a tyrannical rule, but there's just something about us as a people that it has to strike fear in these. It has to. And that I'm not saying that to say anything negative about us.
Right.
But it has to. Because why do they respond the way that they do?
Right.
That says something.
Right.
So I try to forward think. I try to think outside the box in regards to
right. I can tell.
And I don't just look at it as black and white, because there's something that's causing you to do those particular things.
Right. Right.
You don't go around just hating on people, do you?
I mean, again, like I say, for the most part, for me, I truly I only define what deals with Ivy. I try not to have an open mindset to know nothing else. So I've been that way my whole life. It seems to work for me. So when people ask me, how do I interact? I interact with Ivy until I feel like I want to interact with somebody else. And if I do, and I see that that person does not embody the personality or the mindset or anything that I embody, then I just don't deal with them. So a lot of times I don't get to deal with a lot of negative stuff, because immediately when I see that, I'm no longer going to participate in that. I'm not going to participate in that, because it would allow me to get upset. And I think that my grandmama used to say very kindly, don't allow nobody to make you miss going to heaven. And I think she used to say that because you could allow somebody making you miss going to heaven. If you take that back to Moses, he had to be denied of something because he allowed the people to cause him to lose sight of what he was supposed to be doing. So I go that way. If somebody don't have the right personality, the right spirit, then I just don't deal with them. That way I will not have to put myself in a position to get angry at what they're saying or what they're doing or anything, because I don't know nothing about it. I'm never around it, and I isolate myself accordingly. So no, I would not know in that aspect, because I'm just different in that way. And but that has to do with being raised a certain way. I mean, my grandmama used to say, I'm not gonna let my own child cause me to miss heaven. If that's what you want to do, you do it. So no, I wouldn't. I no, but I think that when I interact with what you're doing, I have to understand and say for you, I understand that your level of intellect is totally different because you've opened your mind to so many different realms of knowledge. And until other people experience whatever it is you've experienced that's made you open your mind that wide, they might not have the first mindset to even know truly what you're talking about. So that's the reason why I give people the opportunity to come on and tell me what they're talking about. If everything is going to be scripted, then it's not real. I can't always know what you're going to say and why you're going to say it, but I can interact with you correctly. So nothing is dumb. It's just something that I might not choose to deal with. So, for me, anybody that want to come on, I'm going to give you the opportunity to express where you are because that is the reason I asked you to come. And Vincent Miller wanted to say that he feel if our race come together in unity, we could change a lot in the community or the world. And that's right. And I do believe that. That is the reason why I say we can't shut down another person's mindset. There were some people who they were geniuses, but they had no good personality. They were only geniuses because their intellect was above what we have. And so they were not able to really function amongst people in the same way. If you look at Nostradamus, he was actually a very weird individual and he kind of traveled most of the time on his own. But the reason that Nostradamus was that way was because no one knew the intellect that Nostradamus truly possessed from whatever his gift was. And his gift intimidated people. His knowledge and his mind was receiving things that no one else was getting. And some of his prophecies are still becoming true as of this day. So when you deal right at that time or even now, so when we're talking with one another, if you say something to me that I do not understand, I have no problem with it, but I'm going to ask you to give me the time to figure out what you're talking about so that I can educate myself accordingly to have a conversation with you and it not be one-sided. So, right, right. We don't know it all. Right. That's exactly right. A little bit better. Hmm. I've done my job, and that's the same thing that it goes on when you are in a spiritual realm. The pastor cannot say that every soul in there is gonna be saved, but he can say that he preached the word. And whether the word come from the pulpit or it come from this chair that I'm sitting in, as long as you hear it, then you can relate and you can apply it to your life where you see fit. But for me, I'm just the type of individual that I'm very liberal in my thought process, but I'm very strategic in how I interact with certain conversations. And so a lot of that for me is because of the way that I was raised by, my family. And then on top of that, there are certain things that I don't want to open my mind up to. I have no intention. So when people say it, no matter what it may be, I clarify. But I can see that when we're dealing with intellect, I think intellect truly is defined from the person that is speaking. You'll know whether they're intelligent or not in about 5 minutes. In about 5 minutes, we'll know if you're intelligent. We'll know if you're dumbfounded. We'll know whatever it is we need to know in about 5 minutes of talking. Who is Art's brother? Oh, you talking about Arthur Wiltshire? Oh, you talking about Ken? That my baby there. What happened with Ken? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. What did he say? Mm-hmm.
programmed to react to and respond a certain way. Because these people, the people that's in power, they have studied this stuff for centuries, and they know how if you watch a commercial, you'll look at a commercial and you'll see the subjectivity of it. And it's trying to sell you one thing, but it's pushing something behind it. I don't know if
It's
people pay
called a
attention to that.
subliminal. It's called a subliminal. It's called a subliminal.
They send in subliminal messages through that stuff, and that's how it works. And but it's so much on a higher scale to where the people are oblivious to.
I mean, I agree. I
Including
agree.
myself. Including myself.
I agree. I agree. But
So go ahead.
I was just gonna say, but even when you feel that somebody is closed-minded to a situation, it doesn't mean that they don't understand the situation. A lot of people understand what they're seeing, but if it's an issue within their lifestyle that they don't want to change, they strategically ignore it. They strategically
So what do
ignore
you
it.
mean? So you become willfully ignorant of it?
You very well do. You very well do. Why would they tell you that if you smoke cigarettes, they show you all the doggone things that could happen to you? Your teeth could rot out. I'm just a person. I want to throw. They show you all this mess and still tell you enjoy the pack of cigarettes. So when you go back in the store and you buy the same pack of cigarettes that they just told you is the number one cause of lung cancer, the number one cause of you having rotten teeth all through your mouth, and you still ask for that pack of Newport 100 in the box, then you willfully ignored the subliminal. They say alcohol is the number one killer of the black race, and it's a liquor store on every corner, and you can't beat black people in there to get liquor. So where do you go with that if you're the willing participant in what you claim is the conflict to your situation? They tell all women how to prevent pregnancy and they stay barefoot and pregnant. So I don't understand when people tell me something and you don't want to look at what's right in front of your face. You don't want to look at what we know to be a fact that you have the ability to choose to do or not do. The police tell you it's against the law to drink and drive, and you'll drink the beer and say you ain't drunk and go and drive. So these are not things that people are hiding from you. You are being a willful participant of your own foolishness. Of your own demise. Even put a warning on the pack. They do. Hold on. Miss Linda Martin, Vincent Martin said, yes, everybody's saying true. Hold on. And then Miss Linda Martin said, our race has been going through police brutality ever since there was police, and we have been hung, badly beaten, bitten and attacked by police dogs, even in, I'm sorry, Miss Linda Martin, it's so light, I can't hardly see it. Even now, it has followed us even to another century. It saddens my heart to know and see we as African Americans are still being treated that way. And in 2021, police brutality, young men, thank you for taking on this subject tonight. Exactly. Hold on. Dallas Schoolfield wanted to say, even put a warning on the pack. They do. And then Vincent Miller said, say that. Miss Linda Martin said, amen, Ivy, to every word you say, speaking right now. Exactly. And all those things are jammed into the Black community, liquor stores, pop, everything. And that is the problem that I have with it. But the problem that I have with it when we speak on it is nobody wants to take responsibility for their own actions, for your own actions. And when you don't want to do that, then you blame it on the white man, or you blame it on the Chinese man, or you blame it on whoever the man. You make up a man and blame him on him. And that is the problem that I say. When I see boys walking around with their pants almost to the ground, and you won't pull your pants up, but you say they won't give black people no job. Look how you dressed. Look how ignorant you look in the street. Look how you look.
Okay, and that's another thing that's a hidden thing, because all right, it's the power of the excuse. The power of the excuse.
But that's my point. Where do you stop that at? Where do you stop that at? That's the reason why I say take responsibility for your own actions and own it. You know, I mean, all the way down to when I was a kid, I would know I was gonna get a whooping. I knew I was gonna get a whooping, but I wasn't gonna lie about it. If I didn't do it, I'm gonna tell you I didn't do it. Now you want to keep going on telling me, fine, but I'm gonna own my own actions. But once I see people don't want to own their actions, and they want to lead each, and they wanted, my dog was doing something, I thought something going on with, and they want to lead people in these conversations blindly and keep hollering about who doing what and the white man and this one and that one. I find that to be a way that you're using a subliminal. You want to deflect from the situation, which is you are responsible for yourself.
Yeah,
You're not able to pot it off to somebody else. And when will we get out of the slave mentality mindset? Like I said last night, I want, if we wasn't on the tree, we were not there, we wasn't doing none of that stuff. So you've come into a world where life has been given to you better, because our ancestors paved the way and they shed their blood and they died for us to have a different way of living. But you still ain't doing that with the life that they died for. You still ain't doing nothing with it.
A little bit more of the illusion of freedom.
Right. So when will we stop using that? When will you start? I could go around and say, well, I can't work. You know how many people done told me, girl, why you working? You ain't getting unemployment and you got cancer. Cancer ain't made me where I can't go to work. I'm sick, but I can go to work. So I'm supposed to go up there and suck on the titty of the Social Security system because they told me I had cancer. No, I'm supposed to still maintain my life. I'm supposed to do what I need to do and make sure that I fight this disease as hard as anybody else and hope that I win it at the end of the battle. But not go up there and start begging for no $700 a month Social Security check so that I can try to hide in the street when people pass by. I ain't supposed to be out there raking the yard if I'm disabled. I ain't supposed to be out there painting and doing all the stuff that you say you doing if you disabled. You can walk around the mall to spend your Social Security check.
Trying to find and give yourself an enabler.
Exactly. But I'm not saying that some people don't need Social Security. I'm not saying that some people's battle with cancer hasn't defined them to where they're constricted to home. But what I am saying is until that happens, or if it doesn't happen, then I need to still give it 100.
Yeah, that's true.
I need to give it 100, and I need to be productive about how I give it 100. I shouldn't be sitting here trying to figure out ways to rip off the system. That's the problem I have with it. That's the problem I have with it. When do we stop trying to be leeches? All we do is suck off each other and carry each other down.
Right.
So, you know, I don't give people a lot of thought when I hear certain things said or you know, or whatever. I mean, even when I talk to them about bettering themselves through my brother's class, they're gonna whine about $20.
Wow.
They're gonna whine. You're gonna, I don't want to pay no try. He ain't talking about nothing where I mean, but you the one stuck in a rut. You the one can't see how to make nothing change in your life. And here goes somebody with a diverse mentality that's obviously qualified to do it, or he wouldn't have the degrees that he has. But you don't want to pay $20 because you feel like you helping the black man. You ain't gonna stop me from getting no doggone bougie earrings. I'm gonna get some bougie earrings, whether you pay for the class or not. But let somebody come to the club next week, or let somebody be out there selling some fake Coach bags, and you the one out there buying the fake Coach bag for $20. You out to the flea market buying the fake Coach bag for $20, but you can't better your life.
You can't make a $20 investment in yourself.
You can't make a, no, they won't. They won't, because it's not the investment that's concerning them. They think they helping me.
Well, that's what that is.
Always what it is with our kind. The money is the issue because of where you think it's going. They do that in church. Ask them for more than what they want to give and wipe. I'm not gonna pay Pastor Carno. He ain't gonna be right, man. Please, I'm getting $5 and that's it. Because you believe that you helping the person that's actually the one that's the giver. I'm giving you of myself freely and asking really for nothing in return. But you can't see that because you make it about compensation. You make it about a profit when it's never about that. It's about the message. So I don't follow up certain things. I just know that when it boils down to money and how people view themselves and how they want to view you, if they feel that they're helping you elevate, then they're not going to invest in you.
And you specifically talking about our people.
I'm talking period.
Wow.
Period. Because they always want to figure out a way to get something for nothing. As long as I say the class free, it'll be packed.
And the thing about that, about 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, I was propositioning a couple people from our generation to start a think tank on some to make some investments.
I'm gonna get y'all comments 1 second.
Before Thomasina passed away, we had looked at some land prospects, and we was in the development of getting a community center and getting some people together to try to build to pool some money together.
Right.
To say, okay, this is what we can pool together, and we can look at it in this. And I propositioned about 15, 20 people, and this was just on the think tank level.
Right.
You had to put no money in. You just had to get together and think about what we can do as a whole to help us.
Right.
And I didn't get about out of 30 people, I think I got 2 responses. But that didn't stop me though.
It shouldn't.
That didn't stop me. I still got it in the work.
Right, because you have to understand that where God wants you, He is going to implement you. I might be standing stagnant today, but God is able to put me right where I'm supposed to flourish at. As soon as I get in the line where God wants me to be, then He'll open up that gate. That's when they say He'll open up the floodgates and pour you out a blessing. I don't have to strategically figure this out. God got it figured out. I just have to stay on the path to get to it. As I go through, I'm going to always see people that's going to be naysayers and people that's going to be people that want to hold me back, or people that'll bring up negative stuff, or people that'll put things out to try to tarnish whatever I'm doing at this present point in my life. But at the end of the day, I worry not about that because they don't have the power that God has. If I was to have worried about that, then I wouldn't have made it through any of the situations that I've been through. So when I get ready to press forth on something, whether 1 come or 100 come, I'm still going forward. I'm going to go forward because I might not be meant to save the area that I'm in. It could be a whole nother area. But if I get distracted and I get discouraged, then I'll lose sight of the vision and I'll stop and I won't do it because I feel like nobody ain't getting it. But I got to stay true to whatever God got me what He want me to do. I don't need to know the vision. I just need to have the path paid for me. That's it. I might not get the vision clear until I'm there. Then I see it real good. But that's okay. Because I know that as long as I stay on the path, that I'm protected because He's going to carry me through that. He'll put me where I need to be. So when I come on here to make people be aware of where we are and why we are still stagnant in our mindset and why we are still holding each other back. But when I don't get the response that I need, I don't worry about that. I go to my God and I tell Him, whatever you put me on this for some reason. I'm sure you're going to let me know what it is. And I keep going. So some of the people wanted to say, Vincent Miller said, amen. Hey, Miss Nub. Vincent Miller said, strong sister, keeping it real. Exactly. Tamara said 100% so true. You're speaking the truth. I try. That's from Tamara. Benita said, you're right, Ivy. Keep fighting and keep maintaining and never give up. You got this. I do. But I'm sick a lot. I just never say anything. I just keep going because there's nothing you can do with sickness other than give it to God in prayer. If I truly could fix it, I would have fixed it the day they told me I had it. Exactly. Make it plain, people in general. And then Data Scope said, I used to think the same thing about police brutality. The numbers don't reflect the narrative. Needs to, hold on, y'all. Needs to, hold on, y'all. Needs to change. A mistreatment and unfair treatment of blacks versus whites. We are definitely not treated equally. I'll talk more about it on February 15th. You will. He's coming on February 15th. So he'll be here down at Schoolfield. Penny Patterson, I can't wait till Friday. And Sabrina Johnson, I see you. I just don't think that we should, I just don't think that we should embody everything that we embody with a tag on our forehead saying, I got a problem. You don't have a problem until you make it a problem.
That's right.
And I tell people that. Why do I have a problem with something you're doing? Well, I ain't doing it.
How can you call it a problem when there's always a solution?
And I agree. And that's why I say when people speak, I listen to them very carefully. And then I determine how I would like them to affect anything or do anything in my life. And if it doesn't affect me directly, then I deal with you indirectly and I move on. If it does affect me directly, then I tell you how you going to deal with me directly, or else you're going to have to move on. That's it. There's no argument in that. I mean, if I was to do that, then I'm making myself a victim of somebody else's circumstance.
Exactly.
Well, I don't do that. I don't do that.
Wow.
So.
Well, all right. Well, I just want to touch bases on this real quick. Because obviously the police, they keep talking about reform and they keep talking about oversight. And but the thing about it is it's just talk.
Well, let me tell you what I feel on that, and you might not agree with me, but I'm gonna say that. I think that as Black people, we take the one or the two of the circumstances, the issues that we can see where police brutality really went wrong, and then we make that our new T-shirt. We wear that. But I have seen several circumstances where with Black people, the police try to give you the opportunity to comply, and you will not comply. You will not comply. I have seen the level of respect be given by the police, and you don't give it back, knowing that the situation can elevate and escalate very quickly, but you still buck. So my thing is, why do you take the 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, however many circumstances that were tragic, and they were, and we broadcast that as the model for every police issue that has went wrong? But I have seen several situations where the police tell you to put your hands out the window and get out of the car, and you keep fumbling around in that car asking stupid questions instead of getting out saying, yes, sir, I understand, my hands are up, whatever. I didn't do anything. What you pulling me over for? I'm videoing. I'm letting you see what I'm doing. All of that is stupidity when all you need to do is follow the instructions of the person that is in the doggone instructor position. They say, shut up, shut up. I tell my kids that. They say, don't move, don't move. What you moving for? But you do it. But then we take those instances and tag it on the people that were truly mistreated and truly killed for nothing. We tag everybody on them, and that's not right. That's not right. Let everybody wear the cross that they are supposed to bear. There are some circumstances that we are in the wrong. And then there are some circumstances where we are horribly an injustice goes out. But you can't use that as the standard for every jack behind that get in a bad situation with the law. And I just don't care for that. I never said all of the stuff that's going on isn't happening. But we do got some rotten apples.
Yeah, so basically they have to look at it as a case-by-case basis.
And they do. And we got rotten apples in the police system, and we got rotten apples in our own community.
That is true.
So it is what it is. So that is said, I see that every day from my own people. I try to give breaks as much as I can, but I can't, but I catch more hell from my own people. And you catch more hell from your own people because they don't want to listen. I was in high school. The teacher got to waste 30 minutes to get the class to shut up. She can't teach you nothing if you won't shut up. She's got to waste 30 minutes asking you to come to order and get you to open your book and get you to do, but she can't do that when she only got a 50-minute class period. So by the time she wastes 30 minutes trying to bring order to the class, now she got 20 minutes to try to educate you on what you dumpily don't know. But then that don't help you because your mama come up there with the same dumb mentality. Instead of addressing the fact that you're a problem. Right. She need to address the problem that you're a problem in the class. That's what she need to do. Right. And that's the reason why we can't get nowhere. You know it. You know it. You know it. But it's the teacher's responsibility to deal with your child. At home. So it's a lot for me. But baby, I see him come up there and say, you giving him too much work. Well, you look like you ain't taught him nothing. He look a little dumb. He look like he don't know the ABC. So I'm having to give him more work to bring him up to par. Who fault would that be that he don't know his ABCs? Who fault would that be that he don't know what color is yellow? I tell him to pick up yellow, he pick up green. I'm gonna make this statement, and you can say what you want to say, and I'm gonna go ahead and make it, and this is what it's gonna be. Parents are the first ones to ruin children. I wasn't gonna disagree. They are the first ones to ruin them. My mama said 30 years of that is the truth. I know, and that is the reason why I stopped substitute teaching after 18 years. I'm going to tell you your child is slow, whether you like it or not. I'm going to tell you he need a little medicine, whether you like it or not. I'm going to tell you that he ain't learning a doggone thing because he don't do nothing but play, and you need to beat his butt. You can beat it in the bathroom or beat him when he get back home, but somebody need to beat him because he bad. He bad. Yeah, but if I tell you that, now you won't call the people because you don't want nobody to beat him. But you got him dressed from head to toe in Jordans and Nautica, and he dumb as a frog. He dumb as a frog. And I'll tell you, he painted Santa Claus green. When I told him good, he was red. Yeah. But you up here with that bonnet like you do. Hi. Because I smelled the weed off you when you come out the car. Whatever. That's how they do. But you want to challenge me. For what? So right now, and what's been going on, the people are solely dependent on the government. Well, they're the enablers. As long as you're going to be a part of the very broken system that we're talking about, then you shouldn't be speaking. You shouldn't be speaking. If you can only speak when you're not a part of the system that we're talking about. Ivy, you're talking about the truth. Hope ones on the live take it to heart. I mean, I'm giving you the truth because it's important, because everybody want to be the next doggone. You want to put on pearls and chucks. For what? You ain't even a worthy woman of a pair of pearls. You're homonging. You're committing adultery right along with me, but you got pearls on trying to rep somebody else's lifestyle. You ain't no senator, no governor, nothing. You ain't even governing your own body accordingly, but now you need pearls and chucks. We grew up different. My mom gave. Right. Hold on. Right. We grew up different. My mom gave other people permission to put a belt on me, slap the taste out of my mouth. Her saying was always, just don't kill him. Amen, Daddy Scofield. You knew you were gonna get that whooping. And that's not what I'm saying. Understand the difference between a generalized whooping, a style of punishment to make you know that you've misbehaved, and we need to know the line when it turns an abuse. I get that. And everybody needs to hold themselves accountable for how you deal with your children and how you correct them. But I will say this lack of punishment, this lack of education And this lack of true concern is the reason why we got the stupid scenarios that we have going on. Your children speak too much, cause mine do. Your children is too out of control, and that's a fact. Cause mine, that one back there, I have to stay on. And you do not want anybody to tell you where you're going wrong as a parent, but the car that you're driving, ain't nobody got no seatbelt on. But we say something to you, you're mad. But as soon as you wreck and everybody get thrown out the car, then you want all us at the counter light vigil. For what? Y'all were driving reckless. We knew you was gonna wreck at some point. We were clear on that. We just were waiting. We were waiting. We knew none of y'all ain't had no seatbelt on. Cause you don't want to listen. And when we do these shows, and when I try to tell people where I am from a truthful point, you look at it as me being foul and vulgar. But the truth, if you're doing wrong, ain't never meant to sound good. It should sound bad, so you'll straighten it up, whether that be me or you. So whatever, whatever. And I just don't be listening because I don't need nobody to point out to me where I'm doing wrong yet. I'm the one doing it. You obviously don't think I know, but you got a book telling me what I'm doing. No. So I don't even care enough to put myself in those encounters. But what I want people to get is a better way of making things better. We're not going to change every wrong action toward our people, but we can change the way other people perceive and receive our people. That's it's never going to change.
I'm gonna say that, sis, and I think it's to be true, and I'm gonna leave it like that.
Mm-hmm.
So and I know we are talking about our people,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna just go ahead and say this: it's a humanity problem. It
Mm-hmm.
ain't just with black people. It's a human condition, and you know what fixes a condition.
Right. My mom wants to say, then parents want to run to the Board of Education as if they got a problem when they are the problem. They do. And I don't care because my thing is, I don't do all that stupidity. I've been the same way I've been all my life with my kids, and I've raised them by myself. That teacher better not call me to come up to that darn school. Now, I went to that school more with my baby girl than I've ever had to go because she one of them ones that got away with more than what she should have got away with. And that's my era. And I have to always yank her back in. But again, I will own it. I'm not going to let you tell me that she done something and I don't raise in my mind whether it's possible she could have done it. It's possible. It's possible. So let me figure out what she done. That's what I need to hear. Right. But these definite, they know for definite they child didn't do something. And you don't know what your child doing. If we sent you a recording, you'd be shocked. You'll be shocked. So Daddy Schoolfield want to say thanks for all the info. I'm out early morning for me. Much love, Rick, and that's Marcus. We got you. So I just like I say, I know, it is what it is. I know that we will never probably get to the gist and get people 100% in line. But I'm working on Ivy and the ones that I brought here. And then I'm working on just the knowledge. What you choose to do with it is your own free will. But I make the knowledge, I bring forth a lot of people. I try to put people on that can give us the insights that we need. And even from what we learned last night, it wasn't so much about what he said. For me, it was the fact that he was real enough to say it. That's what got me. That he was real enough to say it. Might not have cared for it, but I could not believe how real he was when he said it.
Came out the shadows.
Yeah. And I speak volume on that. I've never seen it done to that degree to want it to be so real. Yeah. That's the bottom line. So I know you was already you know, push for time because you're busy and getting ready to head out. But I do want people to understand that mindsets are only as big as you allow them to be. You can either have a
Right.
small mind or you can have a mind that has no limits.
That's
And
right.
mine has no limits. So when I
Amen,
deal with
sister. That's right.
small-minded people, you
I
ain't
love
even,
you for it.
yeah, you ain't even on my level. So why would I be upset with that? So I
God ain't
can't.
gave that big head for nothing.
I'm gonna take that as a compliment because once I put this little Shirley curl wig up here, it be looking really good.
I know that's
So I won't hold you no longer. I still talk with my audience just for a little while, but I love you
right.
dearly. I'm glad that we were able to cross paths again. And if there's anything
Again.
that I can ever do for you or you need to use my platform for anything, it's yours.
Okay, I sure appreciate it, sweetheart. And then we pray that God just he gonna make all things available.
He will. He will do that. Okay.
Tell your mother and your siblings I said hello and
I
I love
definitely
them. God
will. They
bless.
always be asking about you. Mama probably done already said, hey, Ricky tonight. So yeah. So we're good. We love
All
you.
right.
All
Well,
right, baby.
thank you, audience, for holding. We tell the audience I said thank you for bearing with me,
They
and
did.
um
They did.
tell them I appreciate the ear.
No doubt. I definitely do that for you, baby. I love you. Okay.
All right, love you too,
All right.
sweetheart.
Bye bye. So that was
Bye
Ricky,
bye.
you guys. He's actually getting ready to go. He had already told me that he had a few things he needed to do and he needed to get off for that reason. Are there any things that you want to talk about, audience? What's going on, Eric and Florence Cunningham? Is there anything that we mentioned that you want to talk about before I get ready to go? We put out a lot of stuff. Again, I want to let y'all know about my brother's life coaching class. He has every element that you could possibly need to help your life with finances, with relationships, with everything. He's a life coach, and I managed to get him to agree to sponsor a class for me once every third Saturday of the month, and it's only $20 a month. So you can pay the $20 as long as you pay it before the class date. And if you pay the money, it's non-refundable. But if you miss the class, I'm going to record it and send it to you. So you did not lose your money. I'm going to send you the class. If you missed that class and you can't be in it with us live, I'll send it to you personally. So if you decide that you want to do it, I put the cash out there. Please tell people, let people know that that's what we have. And we want to push forward to get people to a better way of life or even understanding life from a principle that you might not have known or applied. It's for women and men. The class is this Saturday, um, January the 30th, and you can pay through the cash app that I have. Put your full name in Messenger for me. And that way, when you log on that night in Zoom, I need your full name so I can match the payment. And then I have the I Like It Nasty, Nasty class with Sheikah Mayo. That's for women and men. That's $10 a month. And we're doing our first session tomorrow night through Zoom. So we'll be talking about all the things that get us right together sexually and lead us into better platforms with our mates and what we want to have. I got a new show coming up called No Cut, No Chaser for the LGBTQ community. If you know somebody that want to come on, let them get in touch with me. My host Calvin and Samaria, they'll be booking for that show starting March 17th. And I'm also working on another show that I think you're gonna like. That show is gonna be very empowering and a whole lot of fun with the person that I'm booking it with so that we can bring a new flavor to you on Monday nights. When March comes, after I get all these shows out, I will no longer be all week. We're going back to our very strict schedule, which will probably be a Monday night, a Wednesday night, a Friday, and Saturday. That's it. We're going back to our regular schedule after I get everybody worked through these busting into the new year sessions. Again, when you come on, if you got something to say, I have no problem with that. Just be mindful how you say it. We don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. We don't want to offend nobody. We want everybody to feel comfortable speaking. You know, she asked me to be a guest. You know, she asked me to be a guest. You talking about who I'm talking about, Eric? Just say yes or no, and I'll know. And if that is the case, then why you ain't a guest yet? If she asked you, you should have said yes. That's what it made sense to me. I'll be waiting. I'll find out from you tonight, though, when I get off this doggone live, if you're going to be a guest or not. So that's really where I want to go with it. If you have something that you want to bring to the show, you can get in touch with me through my messenger and we'll get you booked, we'll get you set up. Again, all the people that come on, we come on in fun. We come on in mindsets that we are dealing with some treacherous things. We are dealing with health crisis and people dying and people getting, pushed aside for what they need monetary. But when you can find an outlet that's fun and that keeps you not in that bed of sorrow, then enjoy that and move on. That's all I can say with that. Yeah. Then you need to get in touch with me tonight in my messenger and let me know when you coming and let me know when you're coming. I got to book you for March though, because I'm booked all the way till March. So you need to get in touch with me and I'll get you on here. So again, I want to thank Ricky for where he was going with this conversation and where he ended, because God know it was well deserved and we got where we needed to be. And that's what the enemy do. He try to show up just a little while to see if he can deter the audience. And then when he realized that there's too much power in the room, he'll go. He'll go. He'll go. So that's how I see that. So I just want to say, keep in mind all the things that we put forth and try to stay in good spirits and try to figure out a way to make your life better. I mean, that's as clean and cut as I can give it. I think I gave everybody the stuff. Like I said, if you need to look on my website, you can constantly see the cash out for the class. I really want this to turn out good. My brother has so much intellect embodied in one mind that he need to share it with people. And that's what he's willing to do for me. So men, women, whatever, join the class, learn what applies to you, and go forth to be great. Go forth to be great. I'll let y'all know closer to the time what those other shows will be. I want to thank Vincent Miller. I texted him at the last minute to let him know that we were going to battle this R. Kelly, me and him, and Keith Sweat. And he did. Great participant, Vince. I love you for that. I love you for that. My mom wants to appreciate you also, Tamara, for joining in. Tamara Dukes, I appreciate that. My mom, Mary Purtis, Queen Show, and Ricky Smith, much love. Thank you. Benita Jones said, I enjoyed the show tonight. He spoke some real now. He does. And that's the thing. Sometimes we got to get to where that person knowledge really flows. It don't always, if you cut the water on and you think the pipes done got a little cold, it might trickle. But by the time you get ready to go do out the door and look, after a while you hear the water running fast. So that's pretty much kind of where we went with that tonight. We had to figure out where the water was going to flow from. But once it started flowing, we did what we needed to do with it. We'll do, but I'm at the clubs. So I will hit you up tomorrow. That's fine. Hit me up tomorrow after 2 o'clock because I work. But once I get off, you can let me know and we'll set something up. If we ain't got nothing else, I'm just gonna say a small prayer and I'm gonna go. If we ain't got nothing else, I think I did everything. Um, I'll let y'all know in another week or so about the new show, and you'll love it. It's gonna be great. And I think that was it. I think that was it. So I'm just going to go ahead and say a small prayer and we'll move forward. Lord, we come to you tonight just to thank you for all that you do for us, just to give you praise and give you the glory. We ask that you keep us and keep us safe. And we ask that as we guide into this new president, Lord, that it be way better than the 4 years we had before, and that you give us some victory and give us some peace. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. We can't say what's going to happen. Let the man get in there and try to clean up all the horse crap that he got to try to clean up. And be mindful not to put so much pressure on that man. He got to clean up a lot of stuff before you will ever even start to see change. He gotta fix a lot of stuff. So give a man a break. Let him get in there and try to figure out what he can do. Because he gotta clean up somebody's mess. So be mindful of that. I don't have nothing else. It's been an awesome show. I thank everybody. Tomorrow night is I Like It Nasty Nasty with Miss Sheikah Mayo and myself, and that's on Zoom. So if you want to be in I Like It Nasty Nasty, you need to get in touch with me because that's not on Facebook. If I don't have your messenger stuff, so you can be on Zoom, you will not be in I Like It Nasty Nasty because we don't come on here tomorrow night. That's through Zoom only. And you need a passcode and a login from me. So let me know. So with that, much love. I see you Friday night with Penny Patterson if I don't see you and I Like It Nasty Nasty. Be blessed.